Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are. You've pretty much figured where I am. Wow! Open work permits in Canada offered to the whole world. Wow! Some of them even free for Ukrainians, Israelis, Iranians, and Turkish citizens. Whether you're the main applicant or you have a spousal open work permit, or even if you're an international student who actually paid for a postgraduate work permit, which is also an open work permit. This is awesome news, right? Open work permit inside Canada. Here we come. The world is your oyster. Well, now what? This is a reality check. Many of these open work permit programs do not offer you a clear or easy pathway to Canadian permanent residency. I hate to be the bearer of bad news and crash your party, but if you're here in Canada or planning to be with an open work permit, you now need to figure out how to convert it to a permanent residency. In this short live stream today, we'll explore the options at a high level for more mature applicants who are self-employed, professionals, investors, or even entrepreneurs. Expect nothing but the exposed truth and nothing less, just like the rest of our videos. Quick introduction. Who am I? I'm Reza from INGWE, Canada, licensed immigration practitioner, and the office specializes in helping businesses, people, and families move across various borders around the globe. Why are we posting this video? These are made for the purpose of sharing our hands-on immigration knowledge with our worldwide audience, including but not exclusive to existing clients, potential new applicants, and immigration consultancies, agents, and lawyers. If you're thinking about immigrating, we're here to help. Get a free email assessment with us by filling out the form down below for eligible applicants. And of course, if you're an active immigration practitioner or plan to be, we can assist you with outsourcing your back office operations, including assessments, processing, pre and post landing support. We are a global mobility solution provider. Way more options than just Canada. And great news, we're going to be in Hong Kong, China, Los Angeles, and San Francisco, participating at key events from April 2024 until May of this year in 2024. Reach out to us if you're a B2B partner or applicant investor in any of these regions. And of course, we've got some great approvals that just came in the last 10 days. An SUV group with 3 co-founders. One of our clients in this group was a medical specialist, and his extensive medical background significantly contributed to his responsibilities as a chief operating officer of the company. The group applied for PR in January 2022 and received their confirmation of PR in March of 2024. A recent high-wage LMIA approval in Ontario by our office. This was for a position for a company based here in Ontario. We submitted the LMIA application January 12th, 2024, and received approval on April 9th, 2024. The LMIA is valid for 12 months, although they now have new regulations that states that they're valid for 6 months. No interview or requesting additional documents as it was being processed by Service Canada. Another great approval we had with a spousal open work permit approved for an undergraduate student's spouse who was overseas just before the IRCC changed the rules, which do not allow spousal open work permits for undergraduate studies anymore. We literally applied days before the deadline because it was looming and made sure our client had enough proof of funds to be approved, and they did. So good for them. And Nova Scotia Provincial Nominee, you know we love it. We submitted our client's PNP application under the Occupational In-Demand stream in August 3rd, 2022. We received a nomination certificate and Nova Scotia Provincial Nominee Letter of Support for the Work Permit on January 19th, 2023. We submitted the client's PR application under the PNP in April 27, 2023 through the IRCC portal. We submitted the client's work permit in May of last year, 2023. Work permit was approved in June, about a month and a week later last year, and our client's PR was also just recently approved April 22nd, 2024, literally 3 days ago, as we had submitted their PR in April 27th. So literally 11 months, 3 weeks later under a provincial nominee program. Now the PNPs are a bit slower, so you can expect longer waiting times for the provincial nominations. But overall, these were great success stories that we just had in the past week for applicants we've applied before this timeline. So let's get into it, navigating the transition, open work permit to PR. Let's look at the top 3 choices for professionals, investors, and entrepreneurs who don't want to beat around the bush. You don't want to waste time. You don't want to be collecting points and scrambling around different provinces sometimes, right? You want a PR, and you're here with an open work permit, and maybe you have the money, you can invest, you can start your own business. Who knows? Let's look at that. With the influx of individuals from various countries like Ukraine, Turkey, Iran, Sudan, and Israel holding open work permits or staying inside Canada due to issues that have come about in their own countries, as well as many postgraduate or work permit holders or spousal open work permit holders right now inside the country. The pathway to permanent residency has become a pressing concern for many of these individuals and families. This live stream exposed the top 3 programs for facilitating this transition, along with insights on current trends and additional options, folks. And of course, we're going to get back to your questions and comments on YouTube right after, so don't worry. Before we start, it's important to mention that Ukrainian nationals in particular benefit from a dedicated stream for applicants with Canadian immediate family ties for their PR, easing their transition for permanent residency. And this program is valid till October 22nd, 2024. But we know it, you know it, not everyone has immediate family members who are Canadian PR citizens. Okay, so what are the options? Yeah, you guessed it. The first option, maybe not for everyone, but some people love it, some people hate it, some people ignore it, and some people don't know what the hell it is. Excuse my French. The startup visa program could become a significant pathway for many people seeking PR inside or outside Canada. So a little fun factor, you can actually apply for a PR for SUV from inside Canada. You don't have to be from outside Canada, and you can, as long as you have status inside Canada when you're applying. If you're an entrepreneur with a promising business concept, or maybe you're a co-founder of a great concept that you're part of a group, maybe you didn't come up with the concept, but you're part of the co-founders. Education beyond high school level, relevant work experience related to concept, and sufficient funds for investment. This pathway provides an ideal means to secure PR status for both the applicant and the dependent family members. And remember, folks, if your kids are turning 22 soon, you better start applying for your PR, because that will lock their age in before they are considered an adult, which means they would have to do their own PR, which you know and I know is a complicated and long process. Compared to other streams like the Canadian Express Entry stream for CEC or provincial nominee programs, the Startup Visa program is quite straightforward and has some distinct features. There's no points. Voila. Thankfully, you just need to meet the eligibility criteria of the program. Aren't you tired of all these points, express entry points, PNP points, this point, rural community endorsement points? My God, how Canadians love points. They love to collect points on their credit cards, on their little membership cards. This, and they force all new immigrants to go through this point-based system. Not a big fan, gotta admit, but hey, startup visa has no points. Thank God. Self-employment allowed, unlike express entry or other PNPs, provincial nominee programs, where you're being sponsored by an employer. You can be self-employed under startup visa, unlike express entry and some PNPs. So it's aimed at individuals with professional experience or skills that want to start their own business or have their own business that is innovative, scalable, and has benefit together with themselves as solo founders, up to 5 co-founders to apply for PR together. This focuses innovation and entrepreneurship, fills a unique niche within Canada's immigration system, which is lacking in other PR programs. The second point is direct permanent residency. The startup visa, well, actually, this was the third point, not the second point. So sorry about that, folks. The The startup visa provides a direct path to PR. So you just apply, whether you're outside Canada, inside Canada, if you've ever come to Canada, if you have 10 refusals on visitor visas or study permits, it doesn't matter. Offering stability and opportunity to contribute to long-term in the Canadian economy, you receive your letter of support. If it's valid, you apply for your PR, your co-founders, and of course, your dependent family members. This contrasts with other programs that may require lengthy processes or eligibility, such as points, net worth, language, education, exploratory visits, and maybe job offers from employers being hired. And if you know it and I know it, not easy being employed these days or receiving an offer of employment, either way. A very supportive ecosystem. Well, supportive or maybe pay to play. That's up to you to decide. Applicants of the Startup Visa program have access to a network of designated organizations, which are the ones that sponsor your business concept, your startup, and the co-founders to be able to apply for PR. So you need a letter of support, which is basically an endorsement from one of these designated organizations on the RCC website, whether they're venture capital, angel investors, or incubators, which then allow you to apply for your PR. And of course, the bonus features, there's an optional work permit. If you're inside Canada already with an open work permit under any program, you don't need the work permit on startup visa. If you're overseas and you don't want to wait for 2 years before your PR is processed to enter Canada with startup visa, you can actually apply for a work permit while your letter of support is valid, which is 6 months. But if you are on an open work permit, you do not need to switch to a closed work permit under the SUV because that gives you more flexibility if you are on an open work permit from inside Canada. So it depends on who's applying from where and what your conditions are. For all these reasons we just covered, individuals and business persons with innovation or entrepreneurship or professional skills that are part of a startup or want to be part of a startup or have some innovative idea, or maybe their friends or family do have a very good option to convert from an open work permit to PR from inside Canada or even outside. It doesn't matter. You could apply and just leave and then come back when you have your PR in about 2 years and a couple months. Remember, we're always posting about key details of immigration programs, new or old, or maybe twisted, for professionals and entrepreneurs. And if that's what you're interested in, press subscribe on our YouTube channel, and we can entertain you with more of this information. Second option for open work permit holders inside Canada. Yes, you heard it, you know it, maybe you dread it. It's the PNP and the regional programs. Regional programs being AIP, Atlantic Immigration Program, maybe Rural Northern Immigration Program, and of course the traditional provincial nominee programs, which have many substreams under them. They're typically employer driven, meaning you have to be hired or have an offer of employment before being able to be sponsored under the provincial nominee program. They are all PR with work permit options. And of course, some of them and many of them are a points-based system. So each province has their own program. And of course, the regions like Atlantic have their own federal programs. And the rural communities in certain provinces also have the federal rural northern immigration pilot, which is being extended. And the AIP, of course, is permanent. It's specifically for skilled workers in specific targeted occupations or regions or with specific employers. For example, AIP, you have designated employers, and PNPs, you typically don't have designated employers, but many provinces prioritize specific occupations, sort of not allowing certain occupations to apply. But in Saskatchewan, in Nova Scotia, even in Manitoba in certain ways, but not as much, it's a little bit more flexible than BC and Ontario. And Alberta as well. Hopefully they'll open up their Alberta Opportunity Stream because that was a good ticket to PR for sure. So you got to look through all these programs, right? Employer sponsorship. And in order to assess if this is the right option for you in terms of a provincial nominee employer drive, is you got to look at the skilled worker occupations. So what is in demand? What is there a shortage of? Do you have employers that can hire you? And that would be it. Bridging work permits. If If you're in a time crunch, keep in mind that many provincial nominee programs provide the option to apply for bridging open work permit once your application has a nomination. This option enables many applicants to maintain their employment in Canada without interruption while awaiting the final decision on their permanent residency, which was issued or applied for after they received the provincial nomination, which is based on the employer offer of employment, employer's job offer, basically. And high success rate. Of course, the success rate for PR under PNP is high as long as you meet the eligibility and admissibility and your employer is eligible too. So as long as you've got your work experience documents, your language, in your education, whatever you put into your profile, the success rate is very high. So keep that in mind. The Atlantic Immigration Pilot and Rural Northern Immigration Pilot. Similarly to PNP's, pilots are strategically. Atlantic Immigration is actually not a pilot. Why do we have this here? AIP is not a pilot. Sorry about that. The Rural Northern Immigration Pilot is a pilot, but it's been extended for another 18 months, and the plan is to convert it to a permanent program. So these programs are strategically tailored to boost economic growth in Atlantic regions and rural or northern communities, directly contributing to the industries or the lack of or shortage of occupations or skilled workers to fill those occupations. Both pathways offer a simplified, fast-track PR process. This streamlined pathway is a significant advantage for open work permit holders seeking a smooth transition to PR, making these programs highly attractive options. The last option is entrepreneur program. Yes, it's slow. Maybe you don't like it, but there's security with it. For individuals who are looking for permanent residency through entrepreneurial ventures, and you're in the province or plan to be, and anyways you want to run your own business, and anyways you want to settle there, so why not, right? Not a lot of innovation is required. You can do basic coffee shops, restaurants, brick and mortar, marketing agency, whatever fancies you. And of course, most programs require work experience, management, or business ownership, but there's a few provinces that have exceptions. Some interesting programs: Alberta Rural Entrepreneur, which is one of the lowest investments of 100,000. Nova Scotia Rural, which is 150,000, second lowest. Saskatchewan, which is now a little bit more difficult, and the price is not as low. And Manitoba Entrepreneur Program, which is officially the only fast 6-month program to be eligible for the final nomination processing under the Entrepreneur Program, right? So they're all available in all the provinces. We just named a few. You can, of course, run the business after submitting an expression of interest, being invited, going through your net worth audit, doing a business performance agreement, applying for the work permit, run the business for that specified timeline, 6 months, 12 months, 18, 20, and then final nomination being processed and then applying for PR. Yes, it's long, but if you have time, which I think you do, if you're on one of those open work permits and you want to settle and stay in that province and you want to run your own business, you don't want to be at the mercy of an employer, then it's a good program. Let's look at LMI executive positions. That's also good as well. Let's say your express entry profile, you're a director, executive, C-level. You have an offer of employment, could be from your own company, could be from another company. And that will give you a boost of 200 points in your express entry. So if you're between 300 to 320 points and you have previous managerial, director, or executive experience, your own company potentially, if it's big enough, or another company who you're planning to work for or already work for, can do an executive labor market impact assessment, which is basically an offer of employment, to boost your express entry profile to be invited for PR. Now, as we all know or should know by now, express entry is the fastest permanent residency program in all of Canada. It's faster than family sponsorship and all that sort of stuff. So this is also an opportunity for specific profiles who have management experience. In summary, of course, all these open work permit holders that are looking to convert to PR in Canada require a strategic approach. You need to weigh in all your options, where you want to sell, where are you, how much does it cost, are you eligible, do you have the points, Should we be going for a points-based system? Are you going to be hired, start your own business or not? Leveraging the SUV, start a visa, provincial nominee programs, regional or rural programs uh, based on your specific profile are the key to success. If you like immigration hacks, creative immigration solutions, or key analysis of the exposed truth about immigration policies and updates, then click on the subscribe button for our YouTube channel. Of course, we're going to jump into our questions and answers, well, comments on our YouTube channel soon. And of course, quick summary, if you're thinking about immigrating, whether permanent or temporary, you're at the right place. We don't just offer immigration, we offer solutions. I can guarantee you only one point, okay? I'll be there until the end. Sounds like a song. I'll be there until the end. No, kidding. Meaning that immigration is not perfect. If you don't know that yet, change the channel, please. It can be slow, sometimes painful, lots of unexpected surprises with government policy changes and program updates, especially with Canada. If you don't know that, well, you should. Can any airplane pilot guarantee a perfect flight without turbulence? Probably not. The same goes for immigration. What our commitment to you is that we will give you the good news and the bad news and work with you to resolve any issues that may come up until you achieve the result you hired us for. We won't leave you stranded when it becomes a bit challenging sometimes. We're there until the end, no matter what. You're in full control of which program you choose for your immigration. We give you all the options you're eligible for, and then you decide. Does your local immigration agency offer you that? We have a $1 million liability insurance with our license here in Canada, which protects you and us from fraud or mistakes, as well as a dedicated client bank trust account with our banking institutions here in Canada. Our team speaks over 9 languages, and we help applicants from over 50 different countries during the immigration process. Click the link below this video and get a free email assessment for eligible applicants only. And if you're ready to apply and want a one-on-one session with me or one of my immigration team members at INGWE, you can book a session directly, again, using the link in the description of this video, which is invisible to me, but visible to you after this live stream has been posted on our YouTube channel and social media channels. And if you want to take our immigration knowledge for test serve, because you're like, how do I know you know what you're talking about? Well, you can, of course, tune into our YouTube channel every week where we have a live stream where we answer all of your immigration questions for free on the spot. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to be notified on what day of the week and when we'll be streaming live. And of course, we're going to our questions and answers right now. We're starting at the top. We're going to name you. We're going to name names, folks. And then we're going to hopefully answer your question. If it's a comment, if it's something else, we're happy to engage here. Diamante Negro, hi Reza, can an SUV application go beyond 37 months? I'm currently at 34 months and just at the police clearance certificate, updated forms and medical requests, no updates for 5 months. Yes, Diamante, in certain cases, people who've applied in COVID, which is your case, it has taken 36, 7, 8, 9 months. So you're almost at the end. We've had cases like that who applied in COVID and took much longer, but you're almost there. Don't give up. You're there. And I want you to tune in later, the next live or YouTube channel live that we have when you have your confirmation of PR, so you can share the good news. What is the acceptance approval rate at the moment for SUV applications from your experience? Well, it used to be 65% back in the day. It bumped to 75, and I'm seeing the 75, 80%. If some of these agents or clients or applicants don't make stupid mistakes or little technicalities and don't get refused because of eligibility or admissibility, this program could have been at 90%. But hey, you know what? Makes my life easier when I get my clients approved and they're all happy, right? But 75 is the more conservative number right now in terms of approval rates. And again, folks, you need some bad applications so the officer's happy with yours, right? That's what I always say to my clients. I'm like, let all those people who have no clue what they're doing apply, because it just makes our files look better in front of the officer. And you remember, everything is compared in life. With human beings, they just compare. Am I tall? Am I short? Am I this? Am I that? Right? It's all relative. So if you have a couple bad files on their table looking at the SUV, and then they see a good one like yours, they'll be happy and they'll approve you. Sweat Mills, I'm on a second year intra-company transfer work permit and my spouse has an open work permit. I received an invitation to apply and apply for PR with arranged employment. I assume that's PNP, maybe express entry. Second year of my work permit is expired. I'm confused between bridging work permit or extension of my ICT work permit. Okay, so Sweat Mills, I'm not sure which program you applied for your PR. But your PR can also allow you to do a bridging work permit. So if it's express entry, there's a little letter that you can do a bridging work permit. There's a validity. Same with the provincial nominee programs. What you don't want to do is if you do an ICT work permit renewal and you own the business, it's got to be operational. You still have to prove the headquarters are operating overseas, the economic benefit or significant benefit, whether social, cultural, or economic, should be intact. So there's a lot more criteria for an ICT renewal than just doing a bridging work permit. That you should already have that letter, whether it's express entry, regional, rural, or provincial. Okay. Snow, the name of the person who's asking this question. Good morning. I've been in background check for more than 8 months after eligibility passed on startup visa PR. I passed 37 months, is still waiting. Is that good or bad? It's okay. I mean, obviously you applied during COVID, so those cases have taken much longer. It seems like you're definitely in the slow lane, not your fault, just the timing of everyone who applied. And as I said before, we've had clients that applied in COVID and it did significantly take much, much longer. Let me look at it. 2021, 2, 3. Yeah, 3.5 years. Some of the people who applied in COVID. Pradumansin Vagela. We are a family of 4. I have an ICT work permit, intra-company transfer, and all of us have a valid visitor visa as well. First year of my work permit expires in September 2024, this year. My wife applied for an open work permit from March 2nd. It is pending. And okay, the question continues. Can I withdraw my wife's application, bring my family to Canada, apply for an open work permit and my kids' study permit from inside Canada, along with my application to extend work permit in May? Current work permit expires in September. Yes, that's possible. You can also inform IRCC that your wife is inside the country when they come, or you could just let them process it through the embassy, or you can withdraw it and reapply, as you said, later on. Is audio video all okay? Because I have to. Audio video okay? I'm just checking because this is the live stream, no editing, special effects, nothing fancy. But I did see my internet connection kind of go on and off. So give me a thumbs up or a heart or something fancy, or just a comment if you audio video is still good. Anyone? There's definitely a delay, a lag. There we go. Okay. Thank you. Thanks, folks. Okay, let's look at some other questions. Orlando King, morning. What option would you recommend for a visitor visa to PR? Whoa. We saw a lot of hearts there. Thanks, everyone. What option would you recommend for visitor visa to a PR? Well, Orlando, visitor visa to PR, you don't have a lot of options, but of course, if a company hires you, you could do a regional or provincial nominee. You could do startup visa, which is a direct PR. If you have enough express entry points, there's not a lot of options, but those are so skilled immigration, SUV. Those are basically the only ones where you can just go direct from visitor visa to PR. May not be super fast, but they are options. Rosita says, hello, Reza June. Good luck. Thank you, Rosita. Amarashi Lovina redacted the comment. And then we've got Tamsanka Dube. Thank you for this live. God bless you. God bless you, folks. Please advise, does inconsistency on work history for an accompanying spouse matter, considering it doesn't give any points whatsoever? It depends what you mean by inconsistency, Tamsanka. So if you have applications. Well, if they applied and they said I'm a medical doctor, and then the second one they said I'm a cook, they can be hit with misrepresentation. So it's not a matter of gaining points or an ITA. It's a matter of admissibility. Are they telling the truth, right? So whether they're the main applicant or not the main applicant, just be careful. If there's a little bit of an overlap, a little bit of changes, you can usually get by with like a spouse of a main applicant. But if it's very different, then it can risk admissibility, misrepresentation. Angel, hello, Reza, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Thank you, Angel. How's everything going? I know you got your PR confirmations and you were coordinating, coming in. I remember some questions last time. Hope all is well on your side. Fabulous Oboidun Quadri is asking this question. Under the SUV program, is it possible to buy a business or invest in a business instead of starting a business from scratch? Yes, but you need a business concept first, innovative, to be endorsed by another body. And then, before that, you could buy a business. After that, investing in an existing business, which should be kind of related to the industry that your innovation is related to. So you can't come to and get a lot of support without a business concept and say, oh, I'm just going to buy a business. You can buy a business and then use that innovative idea or business that is in existence to get the endorsement. You could get an endorsement based on your own business concept and then buy a business, or a combination of those. But you do need the business concept to be endorsed and have a letter of support issued by a designated organization that believes that you will bring benefit and innovation with scalability to Canada. Osazuva Invents. Hi, I just finished 1 year continuing care assistant and I'm applying for the postgraduate work permit in May, and I already have a full-time employment guaranteed. Please, which pathway is better for me to apply for PR? Okay, when you have your PGWP and you have worked for a family, then you can use that experience after 1 year, after you graduate, to apply for the caregiver pilot if you're in one of those knock codes for working for caregiver as for elderly or people with medical needs or for children. If you're working for a business, an institution, then you'd have to be looking at some provincial or regional programs where the employer sponsors you directly. Fabulous Oboidun Quadri. Is poultry farming considered an innovative business under the SUV program? It's not, but if you have if there's a pain point in poultry farming and you've resolved it, maybe through a hardware device, maybe through a process that can be patented, maybe through some kind of software or artificial intelligence, there's a million possibilities that could be related to poultry farming. Poultry farming on its own is not considered innovative, okay? But solving a problem or making a process more efficient in poultry farming could be an innovation. Nayab Nizar, any news about SUV open work permits? Unfortunately, Nayab, there is no open work permit for SUV, and there will not be. That's what I'm thinking, and hopefully everyone agrees with me. Salman Rafiq, sorry about that. Rafiq Bhai Patel. Sorry about that. It's my eyesight. Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm losing my eyesight. Salman, hi. Reza, I'm an SUV applicant. I've received pre-arrival letter. Congrats. In October 2022, but still have not received anything from RCC. How long does it take to get results? Well, these days it takes weeks or max a month, but people from last year, there was huge delays. Expect something by this summer, Salman. But applicants with pre-arrivals this year usually get their request letter within weeks for the passport and confirmation of PR. M. Jacob. Hi, Reza. Happy to see you. Likewise, Jacob. Are you aware of any delay on the processing time of SUV? Concerned upcoming elections and new changes. I've reached the PAL stage, but waiting for the golden email. I like that golden email. No, the elections and politics and stuff right now is not affecting SUV processing. It's still on track. Some applications from before, a little bit slower. Sometimes there's hiccups, nothing perfect. And of course, that's the problem with Canadian immigration. They don't process everything sequentially like the US does. The US has a huge long lineup of applicants for some of its green card programs, but they do it sequentially. Canada, they don't. So it kind of messes everything up, but you're still good to go. I'm Jacob. Leonardo Sanchez, I don't comply with any of the stream's requirements. Humanitarian compassion is a good option. It's a Hail Mary, Leonardo, but if it's your only choice, you can, as long as you meet the requirements. Leonardo Sanchez, I'm under work permit. Yeah, it depends. There's specific requirements for the humanitarian compassionate. So you have to look at the requirements on the IRCC website, see if you meet them, and then you could do it. But there's no guarantee, very low approval rates. But it depends on your case. Nayab, is there any news about SUV open work permits they announced a year ago? Nope, it's not happening, folks. Please, that's it. There's no open work permits for SUVs. Shved Mills, I applied for PR under the Federal Skilled Worker Program, Express Entry. I will be eligible for applying for the bridging open work permit or bridging closed permit because my ICT work permit is closed work permit. If you receive an invitation to apply and you apply for PR, and then you will receive a letter that will allow you within a certain validity to apply for bridging work permit. The bridging work permit in most cases will be an open work permit in your case. Ella Montesser says, good morning to you. Leonardo says, yes, it is good. Yes, it is good. Everything is good. Oh, we're talking about the video audio. This is the point where I was asking thumbs up, send me hearts, send me thumbs up if my video audio is good. And a whole bunch of hearts came up. Thanks for that, everyone. Rufai Abdul Wahab. It was bad, but now it's good. Okay. Yeah, there was a hiccup, folks. So thanks for all the feedback. Appreciate it. There is a delay, probably 15, 20 seconds. Guess where I am, folks? You see that big city behind me? Guess where I am? Ronil John Francis Alicante. Ooh, nice name. I like it. It's that 4 names in the South Central America. I love it. Can I use my business now as a SUV application? It's already operating in Ontario. Thanks. Can I use my business as a... Well, if it's innovative, right? It can't be a traditional, like if you own a restaurant or coffee shop, no. But if you created something for that industry, yes. So as long as it meets the innovation, and you can always twist it around to make it innovative. Don't tell anyone I told you. Yes. SUV, folks, crash course, less than 30 seconds. It can be an existing business. It can be a business in Canada. It can be outside of Canada. It can be a brand new concept. It could be just a business plan. All these could be eligible to be sponsored with a letter of support if it's innovative, scalable, and has economic benefit for Canada. So that was a 20-second crash course in what you need to do with SUV. Potpourri, the person who's asking this question. Hi, Reza. After spousal sponsorship interview, how long does it take for officer to announce the decision? Well, depends if you're inside or outside Canada, Potpourri. Inside Canada, it's quick, couple months, right? Like very quick. Overseas, it really depends on where it is, what embassies. I've seen things take much, much longer over there. So I'm hesitant to predict anything with overseas, depending on what embassy it is for spousals after an interview has been done. Tamsanka Dube, thanks for taking my question earlier. Agent entered incorrect work history on a U.S. visitor visa that was refused. I will disclose this refusal, but I'm worried about the incorrect work history entered. No. So explain that in your explanation. Put an attachment, put it there, say, we used a consultant agent, whatever, visa office, and they put in the wrong info. It was refused. This is the real info. And maybe put like a resume, some work history documents, maybe LinkedIn profile showing that this is the true work history and going transparently and, declaring the mistake and how it was made. And if you have that, you're safe. Even if the officer doesn't read it and is angry at you later, you always have that there. That's your insurance plan or policy. Ivan Setiadi. Hi, Reza. I would like to travel to Canada soon. If I have an agent in BC, can give me an LMIA for the restaurant jobs only in Alberta. What do you think if I take it in Alberta and change to PNP in Alberta? Trust me, you want to do Alberta, not BC, PNP, unless you really have like a PhD and an IELTS 9 and you've been working there for a year or two. It is very difficult to get a PR in BC PNP. Trust me on this. Osazuva Invents. Does 1 year program and 1 year PGWP qualify to apply for PR through AIP? Not sure. Osazuva, not sure. I forgot the eligibility criteria for AIP. I'm sorry. Yeah, disappointing. I should know, right? But right now, I think my brain is working at 65% capacity. So I do apologize. Leonardo Sanchez, Sydney, Australia. Ooh, good guess. Maybe about 8-9 hours, maybe 10-hour difference flight-wise. But good guess. Suresh Nath, hello. If somebody wanted to get a PR based on investment, what options do we have at the moment other than the Quebec program? I'm glad you said other than the Quebec program, Suresh. Startup visa is the simplest, most straightforward. I know there's a lot of vagueness in the program, and I was a big critic of it. I still am. But to be honest with you, the rest of the programs are so bad. It's just, what are you stuck with? I mean, oh my God. SUV is good. Executive labor market impact assessments based on an owner-operator type investment would be good, but depending on which province you're in, if you're eligible for express entry, that would be the only two that would be very quick. Otherwise, you can do entrepreneur programs. Fabulous Obiodun Quadri. Will Ontario PNP Entrepreneur Stream ever come back? Yes, it will. When? Don't have the crystal ball, but we're hopeful this year. But we don't know when, but it will come back. M. Jacob, exactly my thoughts. The backdrop city lights is awesome. Enjoy. Thanks, M. Jacob. Thanks, M. Jacob. Sharon C. If I get denied for SUV, startup visa, and apply again under a different SUV product, does it hurt my chance of getting approved? Thanks. Well, Sharon, it's possible technically, but you have to see what was your role in that startup. What was it related to? What is your role in this new startup? What is it related to? If it's two completely different roles in startups, it's the officer will look at it more pessimistically, right? Obviously, they're like, okay, you were denied for whatever reason. So if it's a technicality, it's fine. But if they didn't believe that you intend to run and operate this business and your primary purpose is to gain status, which is immigration, and not the business, then I would not recommend doing the SUV in a brand new startup, because they will pick on you and they will come after you. Hi, Tim Musa. Hi, Reza. Your team doing great job. They respond quickly and efficiently to all my inquiries. Thanks, Paula, Carolina, Manjid, and Huma. Thanks, Hitam. Appreciate it. Folks, we've got a live client right here doing a testimonial. Thanks, Hitam. Hope you're well. Family's well. Yeah, we try to make sure we're responsive. And again, it's, people think like we control everything with immigration. We represent you and we guide you and we work with you. But things change with immigration. Embassies do crazy things. The government does crazy things. We cannot control the results or the end decision, but we can guide you. And that's what it is, Hitam. Hitam, you got to start working on your renewal work permit. We're going to send you a checklist. And I think I told you this before. But be ready, because if you have a 1-year work permit, which you do, you've got to be ready, because SUV work permits inside Canada for renewals, if you haven't dealt with them yet, that's a whole nother 12-part webinar that we could do. Angel, thank you, Reza. I'm doing great. Landing in August 2024. Good season to land. Nice sunny weather. How is the U.S.-Canada border near Bellingham in terms of first-time landing? I don't know how that first-time landing goes there. I mean, to be honest with you, I can't really comment on the Bellingham border to come in. So you come in through the border then. Okay, like a road, land border. Okay, that's good. I mean, land border folks are a little bit more ticked off, the officers. That's all I know. Don't go during a busy time. Usually the airports are a little bit more flexible than the land ones. The land ones, they get Sometimes they get ticked off, but they're okay. Shana Rafi, hi Reza, what is the best way to apply for a carpenter? Due to age 45, I don't think there's a chance for EE from beginning. Well, yeah, I mean, you know their profile, Shana. Carpenter, I assume you're talking about BC, right? Carpenters are in the BC construction PNP, are they? Refresh my mind, or is it just supervisors? If you're at the mercy of the federal skilled trades or the BC PNP, then it's tough, right? And if your client doesn't have because to be honest with you, there's one or two programs that are more difficult than Express Entry to get an IT or PR. It's PCPNP and OINP, Ontario PNP. But to be honest with you, if they are not working for somebody yet, push them to a rural community or push them to a province which is, like a Nova Scotia, like an Atlantic immigration, no points. The points are what's killing us. And I'm not talking about your credit card points, folks. Angel, hi Reza. To be honest with you, answer questions so passionately that we feel like you're unofficial clients. Nice, nice, nice. You are my unofficial clients. No. We're here to exchange information, and I love it when everyone comes in and tells me about their cases, what's going on, how IRCC made a mistake, how long did it take, good stories, bad stories, horror stories, fabulous stories, recovery stories, right? The key is exchange of information. And I've said this a million times, folks, in my YouTubes or videos, is that the IRCC is a black box. And, like imagine like SUV, what information do they give the world? Nothing. If anything, they've announced a whole bunch of stuff they've never done. So they try to mislead applicants. So how do you beat the system? How do you beat the machine, the IRCC black box? It's sharing of information. So the more people act as a community, whether it's lawyers, clients, applicants, agents, and share information of what they see, of how the black box IRCC, the machine, is communicating with them, processing. That's how we can beat the system. And that's why we need to be more involved in the communities such as this. And I know all those WhatsApp groups and Telegram groups which share information. And some of them even kick out agents and consultants. And I love it too. It's just for applicants, which is great. That's the key, We're trying to promote information sharing and exchanging. And we don't know everything, right? That's why there has to be an exchange of learning from each other. And trust me, and I've said this a million times as well, no one lawyer, no one consultant, or no one individual can know everything about immigration. It is just impossible. M. Jacob says, true indeed. I second Angel. Thank you, M. Jacob. And I hope you get your golden email. I love that golden email because we do a lot of golden visas, right? Like Greece. By the way, Greece is doubling their investment. We do the Panama golden visa, and they're almost doubling their investment too by August, same as Greece. But I love that email, golden email. Yeah, I'm gonna use that term. I hope you haven't like copyrighted it, but I want to use that from now on. The golden email, which is basically asking you for your details to finalize your confirmation of PR, to issue the passport request. So thank you, M. Jacob. I will give full credit to you for that terminology. Potpourri, I'm software engineer with IL6 on Iranian open work permit, now in Ontario. Please give me some clue on best ways to PR. Well, Potpourri, you know it and I know it. You're at the mercy of the Ontario PNP if you have an eligible employer in Toronto, which is also quite difficult to employ you. The human capital stream in Ontario is good, which doesn't require an offer of employment, but it requires high comprehensive ranking score in Express Entry, because if you're a software engineer, you're typically in these in-demand occupations. If you don't have employment, or if you're self-employed, I would say, and you don't have enough Express Entry points, I would say it's going to be tough in Toronto or Greater Toronto area. Maybe you should look at some other provinces or rural regions in Ontario. But as you know, and I know, there's not that many options unless you start your own business and you invest, or you go under start a visa program. And many Iranians are doing that, and you know that, and I know that. So it really depends. Do you have a good employer already? Do you have enough points? If not, Are you investing? Are you self-employed? Or do you want to move out into another province, which will make it easier? So there's a lot of questions you need to answer. So have a nice tea, enjoy the upcoming weekend, and decide, do a decision tree. What are the realistic chances of your situation now in Ontario with your employment, if you have one or don't have one? And remember, Ontario PNP is one of the most difficult PNPs, including BC. Fabulous Obiodun Quadri. I don't have an innovative idea yet, but I'm really open to any under the SUV program. Can I still opt in by having a one-on-one session with you guys, or I must have the idea first? Fabulous Obiodun, what you can do is book a consultation. I will ask our business subsidiary to come in, and what they'll do is that they'll extract what you know and basically help you facilitate to come up with a innovative concept, or let's say solving a problem within the industry that you have expertise in, right? And that could be your innovative idea. So we don't give you the innovative idea, but we extract it out of you. Like, you already have that knowledge in your industry, but you don't know how to convert it to, let's say, an innovation, right? We can facilitate that process. Ivan Satyadi, Reza, you're looking genuine on helping. Hope we can work together on my cases or my clients, because thanks for the very glad to find you live. Ivan Satyadi, no problem. I mean, we try. I mean, Canadian immigration is so exhausting, to be honest with you folks. I mean, I wish I was doing, I don't know, Portugal or Greece, or I was just sitting there, selling real estate and giving residencies in 6 months. I mean, it's so easy in some of these other countries. Canadian immigration is tough, and Ivan, you know it and I know it. But yeah, we have to try our best, and it's a hit and miss. There's no 100% guarantee. There's no 100% perfect program or perfect, process for our clients. But it is what it is. But I appreciate the comments, Ivan. And of course, Angel and Jacob, everyone's being very positive. Dead Gamer, this is the name of the person asking this. Hi, Reza. Please advise, what is the maximum age to qualify for PR under PCPNP under truck driver job? There is no age limit under the BCPNP, no matter what program you're applying for. Adele, hi Reza. Any news about OIMP draw for international student stream this April? No, I don't have any news, Adele. Unfortunately, keep tuned. It will come. And as long as you have those points, remember, folks, the points are given also based on the income you've declared over the last few. Oh, that was the graduate stream. Sorry. International student stream. Yeah, the international student stream does come in, and usually they time it with like a sort of, not an intake, but a graduation semester, and then a few months later a draw to allow students to apply for that program. But no, unfortunately, I don't know when the next draw is. Adele, I've hit 76 points. That's excellent, by the way. Just wanted to know why draws take longer this April. It's a hit and miss with OIMP. You don't know anything. They could close programs, start it, renew it, change it, not do draws for a while. They are pretty tough to predict. They're not as consistent as some of the other provinces. But 76 is excellent, Adele. So you're in. Like, I'm not worried about you. That's it. You're PR. Congratulations in advance. It's just a matter of when, not if. Potpuri, thank you. Irfan Shakeripur, Mr. Irfan Shakeripur. Reza June, I want to get PNP in Manitoba with salesperson career, but I'm afraid of not getting drawn after 6 months. They draw all occupations occasionally. Yes, Irfan, but the key is, if you're ready to stay there and your work permit is valid, it's not bad. But keep in mind, PNP in Manitoba is now taking 9 months. So this is after you're invited, after you apply with your documents. It is taking 8 to 9 months to get an invitation. No, not invitation, nomination certificate for your PR. So if you're okay with it, to stick around, as you said, there's a draw, and then go through the provincial nomination processing, and then apply for PR, and you have to keep in that province continuing to work for that employer, then fine. If you're thinking, no, that's just too long, then maybe you should consider other provinces. But if you already have an employer there and you're okay with the winters in Manitoba, it's not a bad program. It's way better than BC and way better than Ontario. Okay, unless in Ontario, construction labor or greenhouse worker or one of those very low skill level jobs. I like the Atlantic. Those are my favorites. I'm sorry. I'm losing hope in all the other provinces slowly. AA, hi, how can I book a consultation? Folks, I'm going to put my link here. You can book 2 consults. We offer 2 types of consultation. I just posted the link in the chat. One is the regular one, which you have questions about, express entry, PNPs, basic stuff, easy stuff. My team is there to help. And then there's another version, which is the VIP, which is more complicated, or business or SUV, or these sort of more in business oriented stuff. That's with me, and maybe one of my colleagues will join, but that's definitely with me. So I shared the link there. You can book it if you like, and if you don't like to book it, just come in on YouTube Live every week or every second week, and we'd be happy to answer your questions, as long as you're okay with sharing it in the public forum. Ibn Shah, when are they going to actually implement an open work permit policy for SUV starter visa? When they will enable that option in the RCC portal? Ibn, you probably joined us a bit late. I think Nizar was talking about this, and I said there is no open work permit. There will not be an open work permit for SUV startup visa, and don't hold your breath. I could be wrong, but 99% is not. It was just, I told this several times. I think somebody did a typing mistake or read it wrong, and then the minister announced it, and then they're like, oh, okay, we got to do this, and then they realize, okay, that's not what we wanted to do, and it just stuck in limbo. So there will not be an open work permit for startup visa. So I'm sorry with that news. Fabulous Oboidun Quadri. I can't thank you enough. What you're doing is what other agents charge a hell of a lot for. I really admire your passion and sincerely. Much love from Federal Republic of Nigeria. Nigeria. Very nice, very nice. And of course, you know it, and I know it, Fabulous Oboidun Quadri. Our company's name is INGWE. And if you just drop the N and you say INGWE, it means king in Nigerian, right? How did I know that? The way I came up with the company name INGWE, it means leopard in Zulu and some other dialects in Africa. It's because leopards, they look different, right? And when you immigrate, sometimes you look different in that country. And leopards are charismatic, strong, they're independent, right? And that's what immigration sometimes requires. And that's how sometimes newcomers feel, right? They look different, and they're kind of sometimes isolated until they integrate. So that's how we came up with that. And I hope you enjoyed that little backstory about how our company's name is. But Fabulous Oboidun Quadri. So the point is, we don't, we're not available every day to answer questions. We do this, every week or every second week, depending if my travel, how it goes. So we allow our clients, or no, not our clients, but applicants like yourself and, just curious, people online to come in and ask questions. Okay. And that's why we dedicate this time for our YouTube fans and social media and anyone who wants to join it. But after this 1 hour, before this, we're busy with clients and we don't really answer questions unless through email. Some people send me like a whole 3 pages of their scenario and they want me to answer that question. I'm sorry, I can't. My clients will kill me because I got to focus on their cases with our team. So hopefully that's clear. But yeah, this is dedicated for you. We're giving back to the community at least once a week or once every 2 weeks with this hour session. Osazuva Invest. What is the process of PR employer sponsoring a worker for PR? So it depends, Osazuva. If it's a provincial nominee program, they issue an offer of employment. You fill the forms, you submit it to the provincial nominee office. They will process the nomination. If it's through express entry, it's different. It's usually LMIA or LMIA exempt. But in the regional and provincial programs, you have to look at the eligibility of the employer, and you have to meet the requirements. If there's points, if there's eligibility or occupations for that provincial nominee program, just search online for that program, like I don't know, BC, Nova Scotia, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, anywhere you are, and look at all their substreams. It's not that complicated, but you have to make sure the employer is eligible, you're eligible, you have enough points, and if it's a points-based system, it means you need to be in the pool to get invited before you apply. If there's no points like Nova Scotia, you just need to meet the eligibility and apply. Like a caregiver pilot program, there are no points, there's eligibility. So, unfortunately, we don't have enough time to go through it all, but that's how it is. Fabulous Oboidun says, INGWE means king in Igbo, Nigeria. I think I should nickname INGWE of immigration. You as INGWE of immigration. Yeah, I know. It's a cool name. INGWE, INGWE, whatever you want to call it, it's good. Thanks, folks. Great seeing everyone again. We're up for the hour. See you next week live, and I hope I can answer some of your questions. I know I wasn't able to answer one of your questions about AIP because, as I said, the brain is not 100% at full capacity. But thank you for joining. And again, folks, remember, don't apply for the sake of applying. Do your research, do your homework, reverse engineer the entire process, look at all the risks, do a cost-benefit analysis, and then apply for your immigration. Ma Sia says, would you recommend to concentrate on any job offer for newcomers? If you're a newcomer, meaning you're PR, Ma, yeah, I mean, it depends on your situation. If you do need the income, go with whatever you've got, right? But if it's more like, okay, I don't, the income thing is not huge, go with something that has some gradual or transitional process for your career path, right? Like doing an Uber is more out of like some people are bored and some people need the money. It doesn't really give you much career, right? Pathway. So it really depends. Instead of looking only for a full-time job for PR. Well, okay, so that means you're not a PR yet, Ma. I'm in St. John already, saw it. Okay, Ma. Would you recommend to concentrate on any job for newcomer? Yeah, so basically focus is PR. So you're in the Atlantic, so that's good. Do not move. Don't come to Toronto. Don't go to Vancouver. Manitoba is not bad. Alberta was good, but they dropped the whole Ukrainian priorities. So you're in a great place. Atlantic, as long as you stay in the Atlantic, focus on an employer occupation that meets either the Atlantic Immigration Program to be sponsored or the PNP in Newfoundland. So you're in a good place. So focus on PR. And thankfully, it's not a very expensive place to live. And I know the weather is not great and small, but hey, it may lead you to PR faster. And then if you want to move after that, you can. So you're in a good place. So concentrate on a PR program, concentrate on the occupations and employers that can get you there. That'll be your priority. And then after that, you're free to do whatever you want. Deepak Thankachan, I'm a financial officer. Can I apply for the OMP Human Capital Stream? So Deepak, Human Capital Stream, OMP, you cannot apply for on your own. You have to have an express entry profile. And if you have enough points and you're in the right occupation, the OMP will invite you. So it's not initiated by you, it's initiated by them if you have a valid express entry profile. So it's kind of like a lottery draw. You can't do anything to initiate it. Natural A1, Canada Immigration Express asking me to pay for assessments. The Canada Immigration Express asking me to pay for assessments. I don't know what that means, Natural A1. If it's a company that wants to assess you and asking for payment, that's up to you whether you want to do that or not. I'm not sure what the question is. Ma Sia says, thanks much. It's encouraging to hear. Yeah, Ma, trust me. I go through these provincial nominee programs a lot, and the regional ones, oh my God, they're so bad. The Atlantic is still my favorite. Alberta was until they stopped Alberta Opportunity Stream or paused it. But right now, Atlantic is the best. I mean, don't waste your time on any other province. I'm sorry, folks, if you're going to other provinces for your PR. Adele, OMP requires a job offer submitted. I can only submit a certificate of employment or a copy of my contract as I'm already employed. Will that work? Yes. So international students requires an offer of employment from an eligible employer inside GTA or outside GTA. or a copy of my contract. You can include, if you're working for them, pay stubs, contract, and an offer of employment. What happens is your employer will have to fill out a form to submit the application. Okay, so that will also put in all the details of the offer of employment. If your current job is not matching that job, then don't put pay stubs, and just put the employer contract or the job offer and have them fill the form. If your current role there matches it, and keep in mind regarding the median or minimum wage, then you can put the pay stubs to show that you've been working for them. But it's not an eligibility requirement to be working for that employer at that time. Okay, so keep that in mind, Adele. Nikki Patel, why are RCC taking too much time to process SUV files? Nikki, it depends. Some people are getting processed fast, some are slower. So it's just a hit and miss. There's no sequential, or there's no order in SUV processing. Muhammad Ibrahim Abdul Rahman, Hareza, what is the expected time of processing SUV for application submitted in 2024? We estimate at 24 months. We've had cases that 15 months, and people who've been sharing here as well, people who've been obviously been getting processed 2 years and a couple months. This is for new cases. The old cases, they're very slow. Folks, thanks for joining. We're signing out. Appreciate everyone joining. A lot of positive feedback, a lot of good exchange of information. See you next week. At what time, I'm not sure. On what day, I don't know. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to be notified. And Nikki Patel says, on the other side of RCC, saying that they are thinking of capping LMI applications. How are they processed faster than SUV? Yeah, slowly they're going to try to squeeze the LMIAs, but it may take 6 to 8 months. Remember, government is reactive. Government is slow. If something happens today, in a year and a half, they'll have a possibility to fix that. Okay, so don't really look at the government policies and announcements. Look at the economy, look at the processing, look at the stakeholders, look at the country, look at public opinion, upcoming elections, social media. That will give you indication, or economic indicators like the unemployment. That will give you indication that in 6 months or 12 months, what will the provincial or federal governments do or decide on. Folks, I'm out of here. Gone, done. We're done. We're done. Thanks, folks. Take care. Adele says, thanks. I love your work. You're helping a lot of people. God bless you. God bless everyone. And yeah, I need a drink. And I'm not talking about alcohol. Of course, I'm just drinking water. Oh, I just gave away where I am. See you guys. Bye-bye.